What if one man controlled the most powerful civilian surveillance infrastructure in U.S. history? Not fiction, not theory. That man is Elon Musk, and the agency is DOGE. This video is based on our recent blog post at quantumcyberai.com, where we break down how a little-known agency created by executive order has quietly transformed how the government tracks, scores, and influences your daily life. DOGE, short for the Department of Government Efficiency, was created in early 2025 by President Donald Trump and handed directly to Musk. It was built to streamline bureaucracy. Instead, it became a real-time surveillance engine that draws data from the IRS, HUD, SSA, and Department of Labor. What makes DOGE unique isn't just the amount of data it can access. It's the structure. No Senate confirmation, no oversight board, and no standard federal audits. DOGE was given operational control without the need for congressional legislation or public debate. Unlike traditional departments, it functions without a clearly defined mandate, allowing it to grow and adapt in the shadows of administrative protocol. It operates through legal loopholes, mainly interagency agreements known as MOUs, that let it sidestep traditional privacy protections. These agreements, typically used to coordinate between agencies, are now used to grant DOGE continuous access to massive databases without requiring new legislation or public hearings. And the databases it draws from aren't minor. The Social Security Administration's Numident system holds birth dates, full legal names, biometric markers, and disability status. IRS systems include tax filings, employment histories, and even flagged audit risks. HUD contains housing discrimination claims and subsidy data. The Department of Labor tracks job training enrollment, unemployment claims, and more. By centralizing this access, DOGE has quietly built a surveillance map of American life. DOGE assigns internal efficiency scores, not just to agencies, but reportedly to individuals. These scores may influence who gets flagged for audits, who gets fast-tracked for services, or who quietly loses access to benefits. And because DOGE is exempt from the Freedom of Information Act under its classification as a special executive entity, the public has no way of knowing how these systems operate. Civil liberties experts warn that this is the moment where the U.S. surveillance state shifts from a set of crisis-era tools into a normalized function of government. Once used for counterterrorism or foreign intelligence, surveillance infrastructure is now embedded in routine decisions about housing, jobs, healthcare, and public benefits. And these scores aren't just administrative. Internal sources say DOGE uses AI models to detect efficiency outliers. These outliers can trigger audits, termination reviews, or resource reallocation. In some cases, they've reportedly been used to justify eliminating entire departments or programs. In fact, a UN joint report in 2025 cited the U.S. as a leading exporter of surveillance tech to authoritarian regimes. Much of the criticism focused on public-private partnerships that obscure accountability, especially when government data tracking systems are designed by private firms led by politically powerful executives. This external trend mirrors what is happening domestically. As DOGE grows in capability and loses oversight, it builds a system that can be repurposed with minimal resistance. Whether by accident or intention, the outcome is the same: centralized control over how people are monitored, judged, and managed by their government. In March 2025, one federal court stepped in. A temporary injunction was issued blocking DOGE from accessing certain SSA, IRS, and HUD data. The judge cited due process concerns and lack of oversight. But the order was narrow and temporary, and in the weeks that followed, watchdogs reported that DOGE had already copied vast amounts of data before the block took effect. What began as a promise of efficiency has become an opaque scoring and surveillance regime. DOGE has terminated over 1,000 federal workers, many from civil rights and compliance offices. It shut down whistleblower tools. It embedded surveillance into the digital plumbing of government services. Some of the first departments to be dismantled were those handling discrimination complaints and accessibility rights. This means marginalized communities, the disabled, and low-income claimants lost access to protective services, while DOGE gained tools to monitor them. And the man behind it is Elon Musk. While serving as the head of DOGE, Musk continues to run private companies, including Starlink, which received federal support in international aid packages during the same period. This raises serious ethical questions about how Elon Musk's government influence intersects with his commercial ambitions. He isn't just shaping discourse on platforms like X. He's determining which government offices exist, which tools they use, and which data sets they prioritize. The implications are vast for governance, for ethics, and for the future of privacy rights in America. This overlap of public authority and private interest is already setting precedent. The federal government has begun promoting Starlink as a preferred infrastructure partner in global agreements, and internal watchdogs have raised concerns that policies recommended by DOGE benefit companies Musk still controls. We've seen how surveillance expands once built. Mission creep is real, and systems like DOGE are designed not to be dismantled, but scaled. Without oversight, these systems can, and often do, get turned against dissenters, journalists, or anyone deemed disruptive. That's why this story isn't just about one agency. It's about the future of government transparency and civil rights in a digital era. The final question isn't whether this is happening. It's how far it will go and whether we're willing to do anything about it. To explore every detail, read the full blog at quantumcyberai.com. And if you care about transparency in tech and government, subscribe to the channel, drop your thoughts in the comments, and check out the next video in the series.